A garden isn't made out of trends or fancy gadgets. There's two ways to create a garden. You can either muscle it through, that's like tilling, or you can let nature help you out. But if you fight nature, you're going to be fighting. And if you like trends, then you're going to like this episode. We're going to talk about a few of these trends. Trend number one, micro-homesteading. People think you need acres to grow food. Look at these cowpeas. They don't need me to fuss over them. They just reach for the sun. So if you have a small area, even a container. Here's a really good example. We got sweet potatoes, turmeric, we had some corn. By layering some crops in front of a trellis, you don't need very much space. And that's micro-homesteading in a nutshell. And all that really is just growing food in a small area. You can do it in the city. You don't have to have acres and acres to grow a garden. Native plants seem to be another one of the trends, which I think is probably pretty good. You don't need to spend a ton of money on fancy ornamentals that's going to suck a bunch of water out of your ground. Your native plants, they've adapted to the weather, to the conditions. They're drought hardy. Here's a couple that we have in our garden. And we can't forget the plantain. No, not a banana. This is a wild edible, and it's going to seed, and we're going to just let it seed itself. We've had purslane growing in our garden for quite a long time. In the mornings, it's got a really beautiful flower. And we can never forget one of our favorites, dandelions. Now there's another popular trend. It's called Waterwise. I'm not even sure where that came from. Although if you're going to muscle through, you're going to go out there and you're just going to water and water and water, almost to no avail. You're going to try to make your garden a factory. But if you come out and put the mulch down, it retains that moisture, and you only need to water right there at the root zone on the really hottest days or when it's been really dry for quite a long time. But I've noticed, look at that, 3. That my plants don't care what kind of gadgets I have as long as they get water. And you know what? Having a deep mulch, that makes it easy. And you'll be surprised at just how little you need to water if you have the deep mulch. The plants don't care what kind of fancy sprinkler system you have or what kind of gadgets you have. They just want their roots protected and they want that moisture in the soil. And I'm telling you, the deep mulch garden, that does the trick. I could have all kind of irrigation systems. I could have all kind of timers. I could have all kind of moisture detectors. But the best moisture detector I have is my finger. You just put that in the mulch. If it's damp, you go on. If it's a little dry, you add a little bit of water right there at the roots. And a funny one to me is this Cottagecore. It's just a mixture of flowers and plants in containers. Basically container gardening. Sort of like you come out, you reach for beans, and you wind up with basil, or in this case, okra. And just like these beans and cucumbers, you get a couple plants, they produce a lot of food. I'm not chasing fancy rows or little magazine style. Mine's chaos. We let things grow like nature wants them to grow. Now, I'm not going to say having a timer on a drip system is not a good thing, especially if you're busy or you have a job. That can help out. But it's not necessary to grow your own food. And I'm not even going to go into garden tech. Get a fancy machine with Bluetooth adapter is not going to make your peppers grow any faster. It might tell you what the moisture content of your soil is, but honestly, if you want to grow your own food, there really is no trick to it. You either muscle through it, or you do it the easy way like we're doing it. I used to muscle my way through it. Used to try all the little tricks and gadgets. Used to buy the latest concoction. None of it seemed to get me past July. Now the last trend I do agree with, and I had no idea I was being trendy. Then I find out what I've been doing the last several years. Edimentals. Weeds or native plants that are edible. Amaranth makes a wonderful seed. It's a superfood. The stems and the leaves are really good fodder, but there's a lot of plants that we grow. Squash, for example, okra, for example. Those flowers are beautiful and they're very edible. There's also a bunch of edible flowers, your zinnias, your boreas, your marigolds, your violets. They're all wonderful and they're all beautiful. So edimentals, and we have those scattered here and there throughout the garden. Now if you want to grow your own food, you can do all the little tricks and gadgets, but if you treat the ground, whether it's a container or whether it's a little piece of land or whether it's a little bigger piece of land, if you treat it like nature does, like the soil is a living thing, like it is, we just put mulch down, we promote that life in the soil. That life in the soil works with the plants. As we're coming into fall, we're still producing more than I can eat. The hardest work I'm still doing is harvesting. So some of the lessons we can learn from some of the trendy things, they might help in the garden here and there. But the bottom line is there's really only two ways to garden. You can muscle through it or you can work with nature. Doing the mixed deep mulch, I found working with nature has made it a lot more enjoyable and I get a lot more food. And really, the hardest work I do now is harvest. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.